Well, hello. Right, tonight's show. Let's get some music on. Some Star Trek music, I think, suitable for tonight's show. So, right, tonight's chat, we're going to be going on about the announcement of the new Captain Picard series, which is going to be sort of interesting. Let's sort the chat out. Someone says from a live chat, all messages are visible. Right, well, that's it. I think I'm on fully tonight. That's it. Right, so we've heard about. Hang on, I need to turn this music. Oh, where's the remote? Gone. I don't know where the remote has just vanished. Have you ever put something somewhere and it just disappears and then it turns up mysteriously? Remember when the doctor said that there's something in the house with you and that's why things disappear? And then they turn up later on. Right, so we're going on about the new Picard series, and things are going to be set after the destruction of Romulus, which I'm really glad they're doing this. I'm not a big fan of the Kelvin timeline, but there was a graphic novel released before the first Kelvin timeline movie, where Data was the captain of the Enterprise, Picard was an ambassador, and in the graphic novel, which is considered canon, they had a secret mission to help the Romulans destroy the Hobris supernova. And what happened was the Romulans and Vulcans were a bit suspicious, but the Federation, Spock, and we know the story with the Red Matter, went on a secret mission. And Spock was friends with Nero originally. They were good friends, and I think there were negotiations going on. But Spock were too late to save Romulus. But Romulus got wiped out, and Remus too. So, and we're playing Star Trek, the animated series soundtrack, which is quite good. So we got the storyline, and that's me trying to establish the timeline for that Star Trek sort of how do you say it, universe thing, like, you know, like the Prime timeline, and then you have the Kelvin timeline. So no, I don't know where's the light has gone. No. I did stop, you know, but I ended up starting again. That's a bit of a highly emotional year. No. But starting smoking classes in 2 weeks, actually, to stop smoking again. I don't know, stress brought it. You know, when loads of like disasters happen. And, you know, it just, anyway. I don't talk about personal life on air, politics, don't discuss stuff like that. It's not science fiction. Right, so what happened was, so we established, like, from the graphic novel, then we got the Kelvin timeline, right? And then we got, well, one not so bad movie. The first one was all right. The second one, I don't even, in darkness, I just don't want to talk about. That were like Die Hard on Star Trek, that one. It was ridiculous. But I might watch that and give it a really take the piss review out of it. And then we got Star Trek Beyond. That wasn't too bad. You know, Star Trek Beyond. It was a better effort than Into Darkness. But they've dropped the fourth one now because obviously they wanted more money. So they wanted more money than the actors. Won't go into all that, so we're not interested, are we? So we got the Kelvin timeline, which exists, unfortunately. If I had my way, I'd get Q in there to erase it. Did you read the crossover where Q met the Star Trek cast in the Kelvin timeline, the comic series? Terrible. It was terrible. But back to the Prime time. So we've established that Spock crossed over went back into the past in a parallel timeline or whatever. But the prime timeline does still exist because nature kicks in and creates an alternative timeline. You know how it all works, time travel. We won't go there on that. So we moved in, all right, we got the Inner Light, Star Trek The Next Generation by J.J. Chatterway. So we got the Kelvin timeline established, right? Unfortunately, it exists, right? So let's get back to the prime timeline. So I assume Data is now the captain of the Enterprise, 20 years on. Romulus has gone. So what is the politics of the Alpha and Beta quadrants now? Where are we? Now I know that we got the spin-off books after the series all finished, you know, Next Gen, Voyager, DS9. DS9 got destroyed, they built a new station, all that, we know all that. But is that canon? I'll leave that to you guys to decide. Apparently it's meant to be, but I don't think it is. Right, because, you know. So, well, right, so we have the prime timeline. And on the prime timeline, we get to the main thing. So, right, the Dominion War finished after DS9. Voyager got home shortly after. Next Gen, they all went in. Riker got the Titan, him and his missus, and they went off and did some stuff after the fall of Roman Empire with Nero, because it went in on itself and all that. But we're talking a good 20 years on, most likely. It's meant to be 20 years on or whatever. So is Picard a fleet admiral? Is he an ambassador? Is he called back, given a new ship called Destiny to go sort something out? So, right, the Klingons after the Dominion War, they were just done, really. I think they were just exhausted and resourced out. Their military took a hard hit during the Dominion War. It was massive. Federation came out a lot better off. The Romulans, so the two powers in the Alpha Quadrant at the time was the Federation and the Romulans, I suppose, were the dominant powers. Obviously, got the Fallen Assembly and all the others, the Shelters, the Zengeffi and whatever, and the rest of them. So we got them, right? So we move along 20 years. So what's happened with Federation? Now in the books, there was like the big bomb thing. You remember when the bomb killed billions and all that? Did you read the 3-part book series? But we don't know if that's going to be mentioned in this Picard series. So where is Jean-Luc Picard now? Now I assume he became an admiral after Next Gen, based at Starfleet headquarters. He probably taught as well and become a teacher at Starfleet Academy. I can see him running the place actually. And then from there, right, somehow, well, he lives with the guilt of Romulus or something. This is like been a big thing with his life, the destruction of the Romulan Empire. Now, the Romulan Empire must still exist in some form or whatever. I'm not an authority on Romulan politics, but obviously it's quite complicated. So where do we go with the Romulan politics of all this, right? So we get the Romulans, right? And Romulus and Remus are gone, but there is colony worlds. There's worlds that they invaded and conquered over the centuries. So I assume with no backup from the mother world, that whatever races the Romulans dominated have risen up against them, got them off the planets. Then the Romulan colonies, they must, I mean, obviously there must have been other empires or smaller empires that probably went in and conquered them. Or did the Romulans move their entire fleet out? I mean, or did it all go into civil war after in the what were left of the Romulan Empire? Like new predators turning up, you know, fighting for territory and resources, trying to bring it back, or was it ruined? Maybe it turned into factions like the Romulan Empire. Hi Pete, how are you, bud? Yeah, Mister. What I'm doing is, the Picard Destiny Star Trek series. I'm sort of going into the timeline history of the Star Trek universe, and because apparently in the Star Trek Destiny series, after the destruction of the Romulan Empire, Picard, he lives with the guilt of it. So this is from the timeline. Now, this is established fact that before that dreadful movie, which I don't want to mention, yes, the Kelvin timeline one, there was a graphic novel, which was a prequel, yeah, which explained where Picard was. He was an ambassador. Data was the captain of the Enterprise, and they put the mission together to destroy the supernova to save the galaxy and Romulus. But obviously, they fucked it up, crossed over, and created that terrible timeline universe, which we don't want to talk about. So basically, to rush it along, I'm saying, where is the Romulan Empire now? What has happened to it? Romulus and Remus have been destroyed, but they had colony worlds. They had colony worlds and conquered planets over that 500,000 year history of Romulan Empire. So, and Picard, apparently in the new series, is feeling guilt about it. So, what is left of the Romulan Empire? Kelvin Timeline, Jar Jar Abrams. Yes, totally agree with you, mate. We've fucked it off. Glad the fourth film was cancelled. Do you know what I mean? I'm so glad the Kelvin timeline was cancelled. It was just, I'd rather stick, honestly. Hi, mate. I go, how are you, bud? We're on about the Romulan Empire and what has happened to it since the destruction of Romulus and Remus. Have the other have the other Alpha Quadrant powers moved in and conquered it? Because they had colony worlds, didn't they? And they had conquered worlds. So there must be something left of the Romulan race. Pete Owen. In the games there are root faction. One of us is probably Federation. Supernova and Star on Jar Jar knows that. I know. But no one, not only that, Pete, right? This Obris supernova was going to destroy the entire fucking galaxy. Well, no, do you know what I mean? You know, it was going to destroy, and I'm not having that. I mean, he fucked it up, didn't he? Didn't he, Pete? He screwed it up, didn't he, J.J. Abrams? Well, you know, J.J. Abrams, you can fuck off, right? Because he fucked it up. How can a supernova destroy an entire galaxy? I could understand if it were like a super mega black hole or something, you know. But honestly, it was the Hobris supernova. J.J. Abrams, honestly, screwed it up. Screwed Star Wars up. You know. Exactly impossible. The twat has a laser beam split into 3 and 4 awakens. Super cunt of red matter. Fuck off. Totally right, mate. Totally fucking right. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, right? Let's just get off the Star Trek. Let's go into J.J. Abrams for a minute here now. Right? Let's, you know. Well, there would be a void now that Romans are gone. I would be interested if the Dominions still have a large presence since the end of the war. Well, this is where I'm going with this. We want the answers, don't we? You know, the Dominion has not gone away. They have not gone away. They've got allies in the Alpha Quadrant. They must be trading with people. I know they're still using the wormhole to explore the Gamma Quadrant as long as they stay away from Dominion territory. But before they go back on to what happens at Romulan Empire, right? J.J. Abrams is a franchise destroyer. He is. He's a franchise destroyer. Now, I admit I was a bit of a fan of Lost. I was. And then they screwed that up on final episode, so buried that now. But, right, it took over Star Wars, right? Got and totally screwed that up, right? Star Wars, right? Then they got him into Star Trek, which he had no idea about any of it, right? And he killed it. He killed it, didn't he? After Star Trek Into Darkness, I just switched it off. Look, I know it's going to be different because time's moved on and all this, right? But I just keep him away. I've got a feeling the Picard Destiny Star Trek series is something we're going to get. Do you know what I mean? I think we're all going to like that more than Star Trek Discovery. Seriously, I think we're going to like that more than Star Trek Discovery. Hang on. Well, there should be right. Pete. In the game, there is the Tal Shiar presence and the Romulan Union who are provided Federation. Yeah, well, this is it. This is the question. If it's the, which I think is a good way for Star Trek Destiny to go with the whole Federation thing, because and the Romulan thing. I think this is a great thing because at least they've managed to undo the crap at the Kelvin timeline. Romulus and Remus got destroyed, but there is colony worlds, there is territories, so it must have become factionalized. Where like you know, like with Star Wars when Empire fell, it all went into turmoil, didn't it? So there must have been factions in Romulan Empire dominating each other, and some of it will have joined Federation. You know. And what about the worlds they invaded? You know, this is going to be interesting. I think Star Trek Destiny's already onto a good thing. Right. Jar Jar, Cocknose, Crazy, KK, Rowan Johnson. Yeah, totally agree. Cool. I assume that Rum Star just exploded affected just their system, not the entire galaxy. How come it's showing that destruction of Romeo fucks up the entire galaxy? I don't think it fucks up the entire galaxy, Cool, because I mean, they were a big major power in the Alpha and Beta Quadrant. You know, they're one of the main sort of 5 major powers, like Federation, Furling Assembly, Klingons. Is it the Zengefe? And there's like smaller empires in there. Or the well, we know the Cardassian Union's just got bombed back to the Stone Age. They're recovering, and we know Garak was the leader of the Cardassian Union, which the good books actually read. But hang on, I assume that Rumstar just exploded. No, apparently in the Kelvin thing, this Obris supernova, which went off, was going to consume a massive part of the galaxy. This is there was a graphic novel before the first Kelvin timeline movie, which tied into the mainstream universe. So what happened there? This thing, we're going to destroy a big chunk of the galaxy, but how could a bloody supernova destroy a galaxy? You know, the film supernova's going off now. They destroy a star system or whatever, you know, but not a galaxy. I think if the Romulan Empire would get wiped out, I think there would be devastation across it. And politically, on the political side, I think it would affect the balance of power. But I think people like the Klingons and certain other powers in the Alpha Quadrant would invade the Romulan territories that were left. Because if the Romulan fleet got took out as well, because there's no mother world, is there? Peter, definitely pro-Federation. Because Pete, he has no appreciation of science. No, he don't. No. Romulan do have an empire after all. Yeah, they do. They should do. There should do, Pete. There should be something left because obviously, did you ever see that idea? A poster. It was a map of the Alpha and Beta Quadrant. I lost it years ago. I had it in a frame. I'm gonna have to buy another copy of it. But it showed you the Romulan Klingon Federated, but all the size of it, and the Romulan Empire was quite big, you know. So, I mean, 2 worlds, the mother world and the star system getting destroyed. I can understand the Romulan Empire going into chaos, what's left of it. And certain factions, how do you say, maybe the Klingons might invade a few border worlds, you know, as a buffer zone. And then say we're going to stabilise it. I could see stuff like that. and there would be effect, but the Federation would obviously go in and sort of negotiate with whatever faction. There should be something of an Empire FP. I don't know what it. Obviously, Colony Worlds, installations, space stations, and usual stuff. Copeland. But it did say the Kelvin filled that entire galaxy. Yeah, it did. It did, Copeland. It did. It did say the entire galaxy was affected. Do you know what I mean? But how could a supernova destroy an entire galaxy? I mean, they used red matter and turned it into a black hole. So it sort of didn't they turn it into like a wormhole thing? It sucks itself in, consumed itself, didn't it, with red matter? And I say I'd rather the spot just gone to a parallel universe. I mean, I'm sick of all this. Star Trek have never been really masters at time travel, have they? They've not. How do you say it? There's been 1 or 2 episodes that sort of decent about time travel, but they don't really think this out. I mean, J.J. Abrams could have finished this. He could have finished this, you know what I mean? And I'm glad they found. I mean, you got to give it to the writers. They found a way around it. But what is the state of the Romulan Empire, and what is this quest Captain Picard's going to go on? I have a lot of faith in Star Trek Destiny. I really do. I'm just so glad to get back to 24th century. You know what I mean? Hang on. Coco, but just please bring back Andrew. Oh yes, Garrick, the best character in Deep Space Nine. Did you know Garrick became the leader of the Cardassian Union after the Romulan War? He knocked off all his opponents, because he felt he had to, because they were all coming out about making Empire great again, and he became leader. So I don't think anybody'd be knocking him off. I love Garrick. He's honestly, he was amazing. Right, please. I did see the apology, but I think it's poorly written podcast. It's canon erasing crap. I'll never watch it again. So I'm very good with saying Picard, which you should be excited. But it does go called a supernova. Yeah. But I think I know Discovery starts this week. I will be watching it. And yeah, I'm a bit apprehensive for saying Captain Pike the Enterprise. I'm going to sit on it until I've seen it, and then I'll make a judgment. But I'm just sick of prequel shit. I think Enterprise were a decent prequel, and then from there you could have took it. But we should have really Discovery should have been set in the future. It really should have been. But we've got what we've got, and if it's good writing. But I've got to admit, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping the Picard series is going to give us what we think should be Star Trek, Andrew Robinson's the top. Totally. Copeland, I'm not a fan of Discovery either. It took me, Copeland, Discovery is an interesting one because I never got with Michael Burnham. It took me a while. When Jason Isaacs turned up as Captain Lorca, things changed for me. I was more into him, and I did like the interpretation. There were 5 episodes in the Mirrorverse, which was superb. I've got on, but the whole Mirrorverse thing was very good. The thing that annoys me is this mycelial drive they had. Because where they could just go anywhere they wanted in the universe in a matter of seconds. Well, why didn't fucking Voyager build it and just build it and come home? You know what I mean? Well, it's true, unless it was kept. Why would Voyager got lost in Delta Quadrant? Why not just create a mycelial drive and just get home? So they're going to have to come up with some excuse to why what happens to that technology, because Voyager never got to use it. I'm not a bit of purist. I'm just sticking to canon on what I know. Copeland, what about the Remans going to be a greater power? I assume they would have been. I assume, Copeland, that the Remans were destroyed. Because Remus were sister planets of Romulus, wasn't it? So That's where they mine the dilithium and all that, you know, which should be interesting. But I really don't know. Where do we go from there? I feel like someone's been right. Hang on. What about the Romans? Could they be a greater part of Shum? They would have been destroyed as well. Yeah, totally, Copeland. I feel like someone has been scratched back at so many times. I'm now very caustic. Yeah, I do get that. I do, to be honest, mate. I do totally get that. You know. Copeland trivia. We're only 5 years away from the Bell Ranch yet. Oh God, are we? Copeland, is that 5 years away? Good God, Bell Riots. Good God, yeah. Fantastic episode. True Star Trek now, well, wasn't it? I love that two-part. It's absolutely brilliant. But Owen, the Raymans have a presidency. Well, the Raymans obviously must have there must be a colony of them somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Copeland. I agree with Peter. Fantastic observation. Totally. Jason Hayes is saving grace, but Mikey Spock is a joke and a polite sheet says Spock from Big. Go good. I like Saru, but he raised him what you're proper. He's the observer humanity character featured on every Star Trek show. Michael Burnham is bloody awful. Michael Burnham took me quite a while to sort of accept her. She came into character later on. And like I said the other week, I can't stand the Klingons, guys. You know, the Klingons, absolutely detest the Klingons. You know, I just don't know why. Me and the Klingons just, you know, this is another thing. But what's going to happen in Destiny, right? In Destiny, are they going to with Destiny? Are they going to like put the Discovery Klingons in it? Surely they can't do that. So Captain Picard's going to make like the really terrible Klingons on Star Trek Discovery. You know, they just can't do that. So I want the Martoks back and the Garons, you know, them type of Klingons. Where's Mr. Worf? Apparently we're going to get a Mr. Worf series. I'm hoping that happens. You know, I like Saru Copeland. I really do like Saru. Apparently he's going to be captain at Discovery, which I think is going to be interesting. Coco, they're going to fix the Proper King in Series 2. Yes, they are. Well, I assume there must be different Klingons. It's like Earth and it's full of diversity, you know. So I assume there must be different Klingons, you know, different tribes of Klingons. Peter, Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf. Only because they are desperate, Coco. Yeah, well... They need to do something. But like I said, I mean, we've got to a second season. I've got to admit, though, the Orville's probably... I mean, Orville's just got it right, haven't they? Honestly, haven't they? The Orville's just what Star Trek should be. You say another thing that annoys me, right? I know Discovery is far more advanced, right? Which it is, yeah. But... like with the technology. But Star Trek Continues did it, didn't they? And they made it look like that. You could have used the old Star Trek sets all like done up to like with today's technology. Well, they did it in Enterprise, so they could have used the sets just revamped, you know, without the holograms and all. You know how they've done it with Discovery and that. Oh, because they are desperate. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah, they're going to start shoving in more familiar things. But Pete, the guy that played Harry Mudd was very good. Honestly, the guy. I mean, they've got on Discovery, Pete. Some of it is sort of right. Some of the character. I mean, the guy that plays Sarek is very good. Spock's dad. He's really good. You know, and. The Harry Mudd character, he plays it very well. And they have stuck to a lot of canon, but they've really stuffed it up with the old Klingon thing. P.O. and Joloja. Coco, my major issue is that STD never fitted with the establishment, which is what really a major letdown for his fans. The Overleys are really, yeah, it is. Well, Patrick Stewart's going to be in that this series. But Axana is having such great. Most likely, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, again, look at Axana. They got it right, didn't they? And that was a fan base thing. But the guy's okay, but Harry Muddy's now a fucking murder. Yeah, he is, yeah. At the end of the time travel episode, but I kept keeping him in a time loop. It was funny what I did to Lorca, though, when he shoved him out of shape. That was hilarious. Coco, I paid £20 for Aussie Original Accent for all those bastards that said, yeah, I sent them a tenner, mate. Yeah, I sent money to, Star Trek Continues as well. I sent cash into them as well. I'd really like Continues to come back. I really would. I just thought that was a masterpiece of Star Trek making, So where do we go with the Picard series then? I mean, so we've got the Dominion War, Voyager's back. What's happened to rest of crew at Next Gen? Where's the Federation? What about the politics? So I'd like to say something about the Federation politics. Yeah, because it's not all wonderful, is it? Section 31's on the loose. I mean, what's the Q continuum doing? They've got to bring Q back in Picard series. We need Q. He's turned up 20 years later just to wind him up. CBS has shipped the ended stage down the cops. I mean, yes, they are the Nebian slime devils. I totally agree. They're Rangers. I've got a copy of every continuous. Yeah, I'm thinking about ordering them on Blu-ray off them. I have downloaded them, but I'm actually thinking of getting the actual Blu-ray copies. I think that do they have extras on there? So I think it's a nice thing for me. Star Trek Continues was a really nice thing for me. That finished off the 5-year mission. Do you remember that scene at the end of the final episode where Vic, where the doors opened onto Enterprise, it was all dark and it just stood there. I did tear down my eyes at that scene. I really did. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, what's happened with Vulcan? I mean, Vulcan's got a movement of separatists that don't want to do with Federation. I mean, they went into that in Next Gen, didn't they? So what's gone on with Vulcan separatists? You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that could take from original formats and sort of go on it. And the stuff from Enterprise as well, which will be interesting. I'd just like them to start like the Picard series with pure established canon and add new stuff to it as we're going along. But I think the Romulan thing is a good way to go about it. Do you know what I mean? I really do. I think it's a good way to go about. I think the Romulan thing was a good idea. But that's all we know. I think they've built the sets. I don't know. I don't know if apparently Destiny's going to be out the end of this year. So we're looking possibly November. So we'll have to wait and see. But obviously, we're going to be getting more in each week. But Patrick Stewart said he'd only come back if they get it right. And the story was evolving. And he went over the pilot scripts and, he were really up for it. So I feel, because it's Patrick Stewart, I have a lot of faith in him. And I don't think he'd do anything, do you know what I mean, without sort of going about it properly. And I think Patrick Stewart, I think Destiny's going to be far better than Discovery. I think it's fair Gene would despise STD. Yeah. Well, I think from they said that after DS9, Gene's vision went totally in a different way, didn't they? But I think Deep Space Nine was, for me, it's the best Star Trek ever made. Honestly, I do. Now, for me, I love Deep Space Nine. I watch it. I watch all 7 seasons once a year. just love it. I've been shifted from physical media now moving to digital. I have an STB 5 terabyte hard drive connected to my Blu-ray and I can access my entire collection. Yeah, mate, I'm not buying as much now. I'm more digital than ever now. I've just started watching Titans today. Have you started watching that on Netflix, Titans? I've got to admit, it's the bloody best DC superheroes series I've seen. I mean, forget Arrow. I've got, Arrow Universe, a bit sort of varies compared to this. It's a bit lightweight. I mean, you saw this Titans, this is hardcore. Like, I mean, Robin's a bloodthirsty. I mean, they're all quite dark. And they've got it right. It's like, the DC movie universe, that sort of dark, sort of Batman versus Superman, that darkness about it. Well, Titans is quite like that, the new Titans. But I'll be reviewing that this week once I've got through it. I'm on episode 5. I've been shifted. All right. Me so cool. I'm not using this anymore. Yeah. It's easy. I've got a smart Sally. And just look at it. It is in it. I know. I do like the physical media and stuff, but HMV going and all this. I'm actually thinking about clearing a lot of Blu-rays out now. Before, well, I might as well trade them in for something decent. I'm thinking about getting an Oculus Go. Them VR goggles. But I'll let you know, obviously, if I get them. So I trusted Mark Hamill until he took me. Yeah, don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. I hate that film. That was so embarrassing. And what did he do for 30 years? Sat in a hut, being funnily depressed. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but remakes are just getting worse. You are correct that Patrick Stewart is a good sign. You are correct that Patrick Stewart, Benny Folds, is a good sign in the writing of what this series will be about. Yes, good point. And hopefully makes me optimistic on the new show. I'm still looking forward to the new BBC War of the Worlds this year. I am, yeah. I've seen a picture of the Martian Walker. I'm a bit disappointed. But it's not set. It's set during the First World War. But have you seen that documentary they made on History Channel, where they sort of about a few years ago they made a documentary. It's like a live-action documentary where the Martians attacked everybody during the First World War. It's really good. You've got like the CGI in there with World War footage, Martian walkers and stuff, which obviously BBC have copied that. So. Really, so we're seeing this version of it really in another way. But I am looking forward to it. But I would like, do you know what I'd like? I'd like an original version with the Jeff Wayne soundtrack. A full movie done with the Jeff Wayne soundtrack. That's how I want War of the Worlds. Honestly, I do. I'm sick of all these cheap, nasty, knockoff versions of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not clear. It's the BBC will be. Well, I hope they don't go all SJW and PC with it, Pete. I mean, honestly, after the Doctor Who debacle, you try. I mean, look, I try not to get political, and sometimes I think getting a message across in certain things is a good thing. But when they're shoving it down your throat, mate, you know what I mean? When you're watching it, and 20 minutes into it, you're getting some lecture, and it's cringing, isn't it? And you don't need it. You want quality writing. You know what I mean? You want to leave that science fiction episode and have that thing and think, And when you're at work next door, you're talking to friends, going for a drink. And somebody, did you see that last night? And they're going on about the twists and Black Mirror and all that. People talk about it. The meaning of it. Do you know what I mean? But when it all gets cringy, I ain't got time for it, mate. I've got, with what we're going through in this country with Brexit crap and all, snivelly politicians and all this. Some 24 hours a day, we're all sick of it and telling us all what to think, you know what I mean? Totally agree, but I'm not on a. Hang on, right. Hope you, all right, mate, I'm not on a game, mate, but unfortunately, you called me by time when I'm to. No, mate, I'm starting to agree with you, mate. I remember when Doctor Who started, I was there defending it, and 3 weeks into it, I was agreeing with it. It's just that certain things we're watching are getting really cringy. You're not being negative, mate. You're not the only ones. A lot of people out there like yourself and ourselves, Pete, that it doesn't mean you've got any problem with it all and all this, but you're fed up of being lectured to. You know what I mean? You live your life doing the right thing like the rest of us. We don't need to be lectured, do we? Do you know what I mean? And that's what really fucked me off with Doctor Who, mate. I totally, honestly, mate, all my friends take your side. And I did defend sort of the New Year's Day one to a point. It was so bad, Pete, the New Year's Day episode, that it was so bad, Pete. Honestly, it was funny for being so bad that they gave them £1 million to put that on, and the sheer cheesiness of it all, it was cringy, but you laughed because it was such a joke. But I'm smart enough for doing. No, that's totally. I agree with you, Pete. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I totally agree. Look, like example, right, Pete? Do you remember when you watched the original Star Trek episode, the '60s? What Gene Roddenberry did, but genius, like he had to go at the political things at the time, but he did it in science fiction form, like the episode. Let this be your last battlefield. Remember that with Frank Gorshin, where they were painted on 2 different sides. And they both hated each other. And Spock said to him, he said, well, you're both the same. You're both the same. And like, they couldn't handle it. I mean, they did it beautifully, really intelligent. And at the end, the Enterprise left a dead world with them two trying to fucking kill each other with that message and its impact. And that's how it should be. Not with this, like, cringy shit what they're putting in. I'm worried about this, James. Yeah, no, they can't. I mean, the one for the SG Club, the one for the SGW with Victoria times, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? But you've got a point. We'll have to wait and see. Isn't it sad that I'm so different? Yeah, no, mate, I went to see, I got excited a year ago, for that Mortal Engines, right? And, when I saw that trailer of London moving across the country on wheels, I thought this is brilliant, right? And then I saw it was absolute shit. And they got so desperate writing it, right? And this thing, somebody gave the writer and the director 150 million to make that shite, right? And they gave them 150 million. And do you know all they could come up with was a Darth Vader moment towards the end of the film. Seriously, bud, a Darth Vader moment. I am your father. Do you know? But he didn't say it. It was like, it was the look on each other. And she was shocked that this evil man's my dad. And it was just, is that, after all that, and you hardly saw London anyway, you only saw bits of it. So that was disappointing. I did like Aquaman though. But I do recommend Titans. I'm 5 episodes in. It's not PC, It's, I mean, the Voltic dynamics a bit on Teen Titans. But Pete, this thing, I mean, Robin's bloodthirsty. And it's very dark, which I think I'm on episode 5. But give Titans a go. We might be going back to something a bit decent. Apparently, I'd seen Supergirl this season, but they're all saying that's getting already PC now. Supergirl. Hang on, right. Sorry, I'd say it, mate. I don't watch new stuff because of these lectures. Well, I go, but I was watching Blake Seven last night. Good. Blake Seven and Avon and his one lighters. He says, I'm watching one episode, Blake Seven. I mean, that is dark, and you don't need, Avon said to Blake, because I love their chemistry, Blake and Avon is so sarcastic. He said, show me an idealist and I'll show you a fool. You know, Avon and these one-liners trying to get up Blake's ass, really doing his head, and it's fantastic. I want that back. You know, that. I think Babylon 5 never did it, did they? Writing was more subtle and better. Yeah, totally agree with that. I've heard it. Don't. It's terrible. Just download it, man. I mean, well, for me, it was terrible. You know, I mean, mate, they went down to a Darth Vader moment. It was odd. I had all the Spielberg errors, but it felt like all of the magic dust was used up. Yeah, Ready Player One. Yeah, apparently we're getting the sequel. It was on. Somebody put it up on Facebook over there. Copeland, yes, I managed to play some of it before I went to work a few days ago, but I will go back to it. It's just, honestly, from next week, I'm going to have a lot of freedom. So I'm just starting to get my life back after moving. Front room's more or less done. Got bedroom now, and always done. It's just, I've had to buy a load of new stuff. It's all coming every day. I'm not to take time off. But, yeah. And I've got a film project to do as well, starting at the end of this week. Remember The Invaders? Me and some friends were doing a comedy version of the intro for 60 Says The Invaders. So I've been sort of putting that together. Did you? I did like Ready Player One, sort of. Apparently the book is different. The actual book is meant to be very good. I've never read it. But there is a sequel, so I don't know what that's about. Pete, it was odd. Coco. It had all the Spielberg elements, but I felt like all of them had it. Yeah, it was all there, wasn't it? In place, the retroness of it all, and that what we Ghostbusters and Back to the Future, all the greats we loved, and then but there was just something. There were no spice added in the final to top the mixture up. I know what you mean by that. It was okay. I wouldn't have gone to the cinema to see it. I watched it on Blu-ray, and I'm glad that it was a film I'd watch at home on a Sunday night. Do you know what I mean? That's how I'd do it. I know what you mean, Pete. There was no spark. Just totally agree. I like The Invaders. Stop with a couple of scenes I didn't see. Oh God, don't go, Claude. I should stick a health warning. Do not watch the 90s one. Good God. Honestly, if you're a fan of original, honestly, by end of 91, it's 3 hours long. It's the 90s one. The leader of the aliens is John Boy, and they're regenerating phone boxes. Seriously, phone boxes. And they smoke non-stop cigarettes and breathing car fumes. That's what they need. And David Vincent turns up in it, just lost the plot 30 years later. Honestly, it's not worth it, mate. It's totally shite. See, that is Pete, isn't it? Pete, it is. Do you remember that when it came out of the video library and there was a poster in Blockbusters, The Invaders, it's back. You know, then it said underneath, an Aaron Spelling production. I couldn't get it out of the video library for a week. I had to book it. You know, and I got it for Saturday night, and I watched it, and it was absolutely terrible. I couldn't believe I sat through 3 hours of that. Do you know what I mean? Absolute crap. Mate, and John Boy as leader of John Boy from the Waltons. But honestly, the breathe car fumes, and when you show them, right, and the glow red, you don't just see this bright red spark, right? And then there's loads of insects left on the floor when they've gone. I don't know what they were thinking about when they made that, you know. Oh, the all heat ham and eggs. Seriously, it's all what they eat all the time, and the smoke non-stop. Oh, Pete, yeah, I rushed to rent it, then rushed to take them. I did, mate, yeah. I stood there next day. I gave it to her. Because they phoned me up, video library, said, can you bring it in by 2 o'clock? Because it were booked up. So everybody wanted it at the time. Honestly, it were booked up. I had to wait just over a week to get it out. And next day, they phoned me up in the morning saying, look, several people, it's booked. They only had 3 copies of it. You know, I'd say after a month, that went. Do you remember 50p section in Video Library? The back part. Well, I remember after a month it ended up in there. Nobody touched it after that. I mean, Aaron Spelling, this was the guy who did fucking Dynasty and what were it? Hollywood 092568 or whatever. I mean, this guy trying to take on science fiction, just forget it, man. I threw it back at the guy like a shit-filled nappy. Totally, I did, mate. I booted it like a rugby ball. Did you hear that the regular Trek actor is William Morgan? Yeah, he did, didn't he? He died. He had a fantastic voice, him though, didn't he? Didn't he? That William, didn't he have an amazing voice, him? You know when he played all the aliens, because they were in like everything. When it Babylon 5, all the other science fiction, in loads of Star Trek. You know, yeah. Anyway, been around for years, him. Played a lot of villains, though, didn't he? What's that, though? We've lost a lot of decent ones over the last few years. It's been, I think last year was very hard, wasn't it? The year before. I think there's only 4 members of the original Trek cast left now. Sulu, Uhura, Kirk, and Chekhov, isn't it? You know, I was gutted when Leonard Nimoy passed. I was really upset about that. I loved him. One of my heroes, you know, Leonard Nimoy. That was, yeah, no, that's why I come on, Pigs. You know, I want to get back to that time, you know, like you said about when you went running down to Video Library to rent The Invaders. When you were doing that, I was doing that at the same time, mate, you know. That's why I need to talk about that. You remember all that thing? I remember when Next Generation come out. We didn't get it until for about 2 years, did we? I don't think we got it until about 88, 89, but I know it started in America. But it was being released at Blockbusters, like the odd episode. And Next Gen turned up on video, didn't it? And that's when I saw Next Gen, before it were on telly. I used to rent the episodes out. I rented Encounter at Farpoint, you know, Encounter at Farpoint. Because it came, that were, I'll tell you something, that were booked out for about 2 months in my Video Library in Leeds, you know. But I rented all Next Generation when they come out, then it came up telling and recorded them all. But I remember renting Deep Space Nine, the emissary, you know, first episode. He appeared in so many shows, great actor. He definitely was. Coughlin. New Chekhov accent. He did, didn't he? Yeah, that was here about 2 years ago. Car accident, I think. You know, I'm not. I think about the Kelvin Timeline movies. I didn't actually mind the cast. I mean, the cast were okay. You know, and Gene Roddenberry always did say that he would love to see it remade. I just think remaking it, they gave it to the wrong people and they went about it wrong way. I never liked the bloody Enterprise. That was hideous looking ship, that one, wasn't it? But I did like Chris Pine and Carl Urban and Zachary Quinto. I thought the 3 of them worked really well together. You know, she made a good order. I mean, the casting were good, but it was just the writing and the directing was terrible. So do I remember my dad running the theatre like it was the kids that look like a Kliggles, a fiery head woman? And why is the bald guy in front of the captain? Oh, what are you? Yeah, my parents were the same, you know, when they watched it, they couldn't get over it because they kept saying, why's he got a bald head? You know, he wasn't like the William Shatner sort of look, you know what I mean, when he were like meeting old women and that. You know, because like William Shatner, Captain Kirk, they were at it all over the place, weren't they? You know, but Picard, he was like this whole new sort of thing. He was sitting in his office alone and wouldn't really participate with the crew, and because he was a captain and wasn't going around seducing everybody on every planet. That were all left to Riker, wasn't it? Really, he was like that was his job. Brent Spiner, yeah, I remember that when Brent Spiner were on Wogan. Yeah, that's when Terry Wogan, yeah, because they had Patrick Stewart on as well, and they said we're not getting it for 2 years, and that was, yeah. But it turned up at Video Library, didn't it? You know, them episodes, because sometimes if you're at a car boot, you do see the old VHS sets. I remember Virgin, right? When Deep Space Nine come out on VHS video, the pilot, and it was $39.99 to buy. That one on VHS. You know, you could rent it, but to buy it, this is before they started releasing videos like all the time, you know, every month for like 12 quid. They had, I remember, yes, seriously, pilot was at 40 quid. About 40 quid was a lot of money, wasn't it? So I thought, not paying that. But everybody started recording them, didn't they? Because remember when everybody learned if you stick a SCART lead to your other video recorder, you can record them, but that's before they started putting in the program to stop you copying it. Do you remember? I'm not saying I did it, but, you know, came across this over the years. Yes, it has, Coco. It's been cancelled. Thank fuck. I'm so glad they cancelled that. Do you know what I mean? I just think I thought Beyond it were all right, but just leave it there. Peyton, it was a bold move for TJ that's come out because I know. I like Picard. I think really, if you had a captain, he was a proper captain, wasn't he? I mean, first season's dodgy, isn't it? I mean, when you watch it now, it's dirty, isn't it? It's a bit dodgy. But it really, I mean, quality came in on third season, didn't it? I mean, third season, next gen, it just gets better. They're in better uniforms. It's just really good. I love Q, though. I absolutely adore Q. It was a bold move for St. Jane. It was because I know. Yeah, my dad was a technical wizard and was a master of DLS. I wish I could have said that to my old man. God. Pete Owen, may the Kelvin timeline burn in infamy. Yes, we want the Kelvin timeline to burn in infamy. We don't care. The DS9 pilot was awesome. Back to Wolf 35. Oh, brilliant, wasn't it? Do you remember the opening of the emissary where the Battle of World 359? That was just absolutely brilliant. Because another thing about Deep Space Nine, that was the first time you saw a Starfleet fleet battle. Normally it was just one ship against a ship or two, wasn't it? And what Deep Space Nine brought in some massive fleets of starships and Klingon warships. Full-scale wars, you know. And you got to realise the size of the Federation fleet, the 8th fleet, the 9th fleet, and all these other fleets and commando. I mean, the Federation had a vast military, and it was like finally was because normally it was just one ship, wasn't it? You know. Oh yeah, DS9 pilot was totally more polished. Totally. I found the Voyager pilot were a bit basic. There was nothing special about the Voyager pilot. I do like Voyager. I love Voyager, but the DS9 one, I'd say, was the best pilot out of the new stuff. I did like Broken Bow, though, on Enterprise. But Emissary's the best Star Trek pilot, I think. I do. I think it's brilliant. I like the thing when they met the prophets and that, and him and Dax are seeing two different realities, which I think is amazing. You remember that episode DS9 where Cisco smacked Q out? Just punched him. And he said, I'm not Picard. Enterprise, great stuff. I really hope we get the show now, Jeff. Oh, definitely. Totally more polished. You know, I might start watching DS9 on Netflix actually again. I might go for old there. I've sort of been jumping into odd episode, but I spent a couple of years ago. I watched it all over. I watched all 7 Seasons for Christmas a few years back. It was absolutely awesome. I want Deep Space Nine on Blu-ray though. I think it's worthy of that. I think they owe us that to put it on Blu-ray. But like you said, you know, you're buying hard drives now, 5 terabytes. You can get entire series on it, and then just watch them whenever you want. So is it worth? I mean, this is it. Do I get rid of Blu-rays? You know. Pete Owen. Harry Kim and Secure Mud bought an episode. Harry Kim 7 years still insecure. Mum was born with a fucking tumour, and he never got fucking promoted. He's 7 years, did he? He never once got promoted. 7 years at Delta Quadrant, he was still fucking ensign money. You know, I thought he'd have made, you know, lieutenant or something. He never got promoted in 7 years. I did like Jane Away though. I thought she was good. And then, of course, 7 of 9 came into it. I mean, she did save that show. I mean, the stage, I'm not being like, you know, but she did she? Remember when she popped up as Super Bog and she was in that blue outfit and we're all like, and she's going on perfection and we're all at home like tea spitting out and going, it's Jenny Ryan. Good God. I mean, I just wanted to marry her after that. Copeland, Peter, guess what I've been watching? Oh, you're going to love that, mate. Are you watching the black and white ones or the new ones? Copeland, I hope Days Now gets a Blu-ray at some point. It would be expensive to make through with all those shit. Yeah, but they could, I think it'd be worth to do it though. And it's more, you know, or they could be released on a digital format. I'm not sure they are prepared to spend the money. Well, no, Pete, what happened when they started releasing it next gen on Blu-ray, nobody bought it. Nobody was buying it, honestly, mate. But not a lot of people were buying it because they just weren't interested. Because, you know, because we've had like new versions of box sets of the same stuff all the time. Pete, Edson came out, sorry, mummy. Yeah, well, he never got promoted, mate. In 7 years, they were on that bloody ship. He never did. 7 years on that shit. You think after everything he went through, you think they bloody well promoted him. But on black and white, oh God, yeah, honestly, mate, definitely, the black and white ones are the best. I did like the 90s ones; they were good, but they're not the original black and white ones. Mate, the black and white ones, we have control of your television set. We control the horizontal. We can make it go upside down. Oh, brilliant. TNG. I've got all the old limits, old and new. Great. Yeah, definitely. Well, apparently, Twilight Zone's been remade, and it's Morgan. I think it's Morgan Freeman as the Rod Serling. Seriously, which I think is good actually. But they've spent a lot of money on it. It's out this year. Big, expensive Twilight Zone TV series. So that should be interesting. But it won't beat the original 60s one. Right, Blu-ray's beautiful. The colours, yeah, I know. And windows of the ship, Pete, as well. Blu-ray. The ship looks stunning in Blu-ray. It really does. There's more windows, what you can see in that, yeah. TNG, Copeland. Yeah, he was, yeah, but how many years did he wait to get that promotion? Thanks, mate. I'm of the world sat. No, Pete, thanks for coming in. I enjoyed talking to you, mate. And you too, Copeland, honestly. I've only got 2 on tonight. I should really advertise more, but, you know, more people come on. Sunday night, you know, maybe we should come on at 8 o'clock. I don't know. I thought 7 would be easier for an hour. Peter, Bolero Shield Architects of Fears, Anti-Misfits, Grace. Copeland, I'm going to make a move, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go. I've been on an hour. Right, guys, before I go, I'll be on next Sunday at 7 o'clock. I'm going to review Titans this week. Discovery end of week on Punisher. And so I'm going to get that on. Sure, I'll be on next Sunday at 7 o'clock, guys. I will see you all then. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Another great night, another great conversation. And I'll see you next Sunday. All right, guys, live long and prosper, and may J.J. Abrams burn in infamy.